Hello, hello. Welcome to Fireside Chat with Kimberly. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you to VegKey, the sponsor for this week's talks. Prize packs for this month's contests have been graciously donated by Hodo Foods, Follow Your Heart, Cinnaholic, Revolution Gelato, Terra Seed, Fabelish, Rebel Cheese, and VegKey. You can enter to win a prize from one of these generous vendors by visiting virtualvegfest.com. Click on the contest tab and you enter your information. So hello and welcome. Thanks for being here. I am super excited. I'm also sunburned and I can't tell from my side. It doesn't look as obvious when I'm looking at myself in the camera. Hey Diane, thanks for being here. So I don't know how red my face actually looks, but I got sunburned real bad yesterday. I was at a veg fest here in New Jersey, and it was overcast for most of the day. But as my mother always told me, that doesn't stop the sun from being able to burn your skin. And I had no sunscreen on. I guess I've just been so used to not being out for so many hours in the sun that it didn't even occur to me to bring it, let alone put it on. So how excited are you though that at least here in the northern hemisphere, right? It's getting warmer, the weather's really changing, and so now it's like festival time. Helene had a festival in Nashville yesterday, and I was at a veg fest just as a patron yesterday, and ate lots of really good vegan food. Met some of the vendors, and it was just I just love it. I love being surrounded by people who get it and people who are curious about it. Because of course, not everyone who shows up at the veg fests are vegan, right? Whether they come with someone they know and they're curious, or maybe they even show up by themselves, or with a group of people that aren't vegan and they're just curious and they want to see what it's like. And I mean, so for some people, like food is food, right? And these festivals are very heavy on the food, so they're excited to try something new and different. And amazing. Um, it's amazing what the vegan food vendors are doing, and just the many different options that were available. And this seems to be kind of, I've only been to veg fests in New Jersey. I actually haven't even been to one in New York City. But they've got vendors that do things like vegan pizzas or vegan desserts. And then yesterday we tried some jerk chicken and we had mac and cheese and these amazing like ice cream waffle cones. They're bubble waffles, but the ice cream was like vanilla, but it was like rainbow colored. You can see pictures on my Instagram and my Facebook page. Did you bring the hummus? And it's so cool, and how innovative and creative vegan vendors are with their food. And I mean, it's not uncommon, right, for a chef or a cook to be very creative with their food, but it's just so awesome to see what um what we're able to enjoy. Like when I think about when I first went vegetarian in the early 2000s, you know, I mean, there weren't any festivals going on that I knew of anyway. And the food like wasn't I've already talked about the vegan cheese I tried when I first went vegetarian. It just like blew up in the oven into like this giant plasticky looking bubble, and it smelled awful and just so bad. Uh, so times they are a changing that way, and that is amazing. But of course, there are other non-food vendors there as well. Lots of like fun t-shirts and sweatshirts, and there were some rescue groups there. Uh, and it's just a really great day. And everybody was super nice. And so, like, do you guys have a vegan community that you're a part of, or where you have like maybe festivals or some kind of events that you go to where you get to be around other people? So even if you don't have vegans like regularly in your life if you're the only one? Like, do you get to go to these events and be kind of surrounded by, by your people? I remember when I was at like a comic book convention, not the big one in the city, but there was a smaller one in the city, probably at this point like 12, 13 years ago. And I knew that there was a vegan restaurant nearby, but I couldn't remember the name of it. And I was kind of like trying to figure that out. And I happened to turn around, and one of the vendors had on a sweatshirt that I recognized from the company Herbivore. So I thought, well, if he's local, maybe he knows where the vegan restaurant is that I'm thinking of and can't remember the name of. Excuse me. And so I asked him, so excuse me, with your sweatshirt, I thought you might know about vegan restaurants around here. And he pulled the menu out of his backpack, and it was the menu for the place that I was thinking of, and he just handed it to me. And he didn't say anything, and he didn't even look at me. And the amount of times that I've had an interaction like that with a vegan, I was like, "Why why are vegans not so happy to see other vegans?" Anytime I would find out that someone else was vegan. I'm also left-handed, and I have the same reaction when I find people who are left-handed. It's like, "Oh my god, you're one of us. I'm one of you. We're in this together." And I mean, maybe I'm a little intense when that happens. I don't know, but like I've had those moments where they were almost like, "No thanks," like, mm-mm. I was like, "Why?" Because for a long time I was the only vegan I knew, and it was like tough trying to like determine, like, am I like, I thought we were in this for like compassion and the kindness and the care, and like everyone I'm meeting is so mean. Um, thankfully that is not the case anymore. But I've had so many experiences like that, and it was really nice yesterday to not have any of that experience. So we've got some comments here. Hey Susan. Oh, that's awesome. So cool. One of these days, maybe next year, I'm gonna get down there and go to one of Helene's festivals, and we'll get to hang out. Hey Patricia. Oh my gosh, every Sunday? That's amazing. That is so cool to know that like once a week a bunch of vegans are coming together, and that you can show up and there's this pop-up, and you can kind of just come together. And I mean, before COVID, I know that there were like meetup groups and stuff like that. um None of them ever seemed to be nearby me. They were either like New York City or like South Jersey, South Jersey, which honestly surprised me that that was the section in New Jersey where they would be. I actually used to live right near New Brunswick, near Rutgers. And you'd think there would have been like lots of groups there, and maybe there are, or maybe it was just specific for college students, and I didn't go to Rutgers, so I didn't know. But anyway, like, isn't it amazing? I'm just like, I'm loving, loving, loving all of the community. And, we made it through being locked down, and all of that, where we continued to come together. And, people like Helene created something like this, Virtual Veg Fest Live, where we're able to continue interacting with each other, even when we couldn't be close. And now we're getting back to doing festivals and being able to be together, and also like enjoy each other's creativity and food and all the like the vegan wares. And it's just so awesome. And I totally forgot to bring, I got a new wallet yesterday, my old vegan wallet. The buckle finally like broke off, and I knew the day was coming. I love that wallet so much. It's got like a little silhouette of a cat sitting on books, and it's like my favorite thing. uh but it's really, really beat up. I've had it for a long time, and I'm not gentle with my things that way, just tossing it into my bag. But I got a new wallet, made from cork. My handbag is made from cork, and it is so soft and it's so beautiful, and I love it so much. Maybe I'll post, since they're not up here with me, I'll post a picture of them on my Instagram after the show. But it's so soft and it's so beautiful, and the new wallet's kind of like a it. And that's not kind of like it's a wristlet too, so I can put my phone in there, so I don't have to carry my large handbag. And it's wonderful because not only is it not made from animals, it's also sustainable. Cork is super sustainable, and it's just awesome, and it's like high quality, and I'm just so excited about this. I'm so excited about our vegan community coming together and being able to just like, I don't know, just hang, just be vegan together and bring in all the non-vegans and let them know that they're welcome to and enjoy our amazing food, and aren't we great? Because we are. Well, anyway, um, I also because I have the sunburn, I was also thinking about sunscreen, and I found a Veg News article, so I'll post it in the chat, if in the comments, if you are on the lookout for any kind of sunscreen. One of the things I was really happy to see when I was looking at this list is that so many of these that are listed as great vegan sunscreens are also mineral free. And so they're reef safe. I remember my husband and I, we went on our honeymoon to Mexico, and we had an excursion planned. We had just regular vegan sunscreen. It wasn't reef safe. And we had to buy reef safe sunscreen on on the resort. I think it cost us like $30. $30 for some sunscreen because we were completely unprepared. If we'd bought it at home and brought it with us, it definitely would not have cost us $30. But you want to buy on the resort, you're going to pay resort prices. Um, but uh, but I had never even heard of that before. I didn't even know that was an option, and I didn't realize just how damaging. I guess I hadn't even thought about it, right? Because I'm thinking about it now, and you think about the oiliness, the greasiness of sunscreen, and you think about that kind of floating in the water and coating the reef, and um, it makes sense, right? That it's not good for the ocean for us to be in there with this standard sunscreen. And so I was really happy to see that so many of these listed here are mineral free. So that is super cool. And I would love to know if you guys have a vegan sunscreen that you love. And if it's on the list, awesome. If it's not on the list, I'd love to hear about it too. Um, I did see the first one was Sunbum, and I know that I've used that, not this mineral free one, but I've used Sunbum before, and I was fine. But I know my husband used it once, and he it wasn't good. Like, he had to like wash it off his face, and it was a very uncomfortable experience. So I guess maybe just make sure. And I mean, we all do it, right? We're all vegans. We're reading labels. It's not uncommon, but maybe just keep an eye out. I'm not sure what's in it, and it could have just been a fluke thing. I don't know, but Kiss My Face, that's one of my favorites, and I love so many of their things. Um, but so tell me, oh, and Pacifica too. I know Pacifica is a really popular brand among a lot of vegans. So I don't have a favorite one. Each year it kind of changes. I think uh, but I'd love to hear if you guys have any suggestions. Don't be quiet on me because I oh, and also on this list, number 10 is also, it's called Black Girl Sunscreen. It's specific for people whose skin is melanated. And so they get the protection without so many of these sunscreens, right? They have like zinc in them. And even when you have light skin, you rub these sunscreens on you and you have all these streaks of white and stuff. And so this sunscreen specifically does not do that. So I thought that was really awesome. I'm glad it's here on the list, because we don't all look the same. right? And we don't all need the same type of protection. It's really important that there's something available for every one of us so that we can be safe and enjoy our time out in the sun and feel seen. I mean, you think about, especially in the vegan community, I mean, our whole thing is about compassion and kindness and not exploiting others. So, like, we need to extend that to humans. We've talked about this on here before, right? It's not the definition of veganism is all about the animals. But I feel like in order to truly embrace that philosophy, it can't stop there. We have to include our fellow human beings as well, you know, and that needs to come from all angles. And so I think it's so easy sometimes because, especially as vegans, we're so aware of what humans are capable of, not just against each other, but against non-human animals. And we know about the violence, we know about the cruelty that is just rampant. And it can be really difficult, right? We think about what humans are capable of, and it's almost like, I'm not interested in humans. I'm just going to hang out here with the animals, and I'm going to love them and let them love me, and I'm not into people because people can do awful things. But we have to remember that in order to really be that fully compassionate person, we've got to remember our fellow humans too. So that went in a different direction than I expected. So thanks for hanging on to that for that. So I don't know what else. How do none of you have any suggestions for sunscreen that you love? I want to know about it. Why are you not telling me? Uh, anyway, so I encourage you next time you're planning a day um, by the ocean. Here in New Jersey, it's almost the season. People are heading down the shore is what we call it here in New Jersey. Whether you're going north or south, you're going down the shore. Um, and so if you're going to spend some time down the shore, make sure that you are wearing sunscreen that's not just appropriate for you, but appropriate for the environment. I don't know how much that applies to if you're spending your day in a pool. Um, but certainly if you're going to be in the ocean, make sure that you're getting that reef safe sunscreen. I love it. I love that that's an option. And we've got to embrace changing the world, from all angles. So wherever we can be supportive of the environment, wherever we can be supportive of each other and supportive of the animals. Thank you, Susan. Alba, I love Alba stuff. I used to exclusively use their face cream, and then I wasn't able to find the one that I used all the time. Excuse me, and I had to move on. Uh, and I never went back to see if they started making it again, or maybe the store had stopped selling it. Anyway, nobody cares. Awesome. So it's not just reef safe; it's also vegan. So that's cool. Alba's Hawaiian sunscreen. I think that one might be on this list. Let me just give it a quick scroll. Alba Botanical Sensitive Mineral Sunscreen Lotion, SPF 30, fragrance free, reef safe. Yeah, so that might be the one. But there is an Alba one here on the list. So check out that link. Not now, of course, because we're still here having a chat, but afterwards. And then, get yourself some nice vegan sunscreen. Cool. Awesome. Well, that's about all I've got. We went a couple of different places today. Sometimes the show works out like that, right? I have a couple things I want to talk about. They don't really need to be their own show, so I like to combine them together. So thanks for joining me on this roller coaster. Uh, I tonight at 8 o'clock. There's still time to sign up if you're interested. I am doing my monthly healing circle. You, of course, are welcome to sign up for that. I can drop a link for that as well. I'd love to see you there if you've got the time and it's something that you are into. We tune into ourselves, we check in, we get some guidance from our higher selves, and we do some Reiki, and it's pretty calming and it's pretty cool, and I think it helps us garner that compassion and bring more of that out too. And it also helps with some healing. Being vegan, as beautiful and lovely as it is, it also can be hard sometimes. Like I was saying before, right? We are faced with so many of the harsh parts of life. We see the cruelty that humans can inflict on each other and on animals, and sometimes you just need to process that because it can be really hard. So you can do that while you sit back and I send you some Reiki. So if that's too weird for you, that's cool. No, that's all right. I still do all my vegan stuff too. And yeah, so anyway, I'd love to see you later, and certainly on Wednesday for the stew. I can't remember our topic, but I will be there. I hope you'll be there too. And then, of course, back here next Monday um, to talk more about something good, hopefully, going on in the world. Anyway, I am so honored, as always, to be able to do this work and be here with you. And, we're all so busy and we all have so much going on in our lives. And it really means so, so much to me that you decide to spend 20 minutes of your life on a Monday night with me. So thank you. And I will see you soon. Have an amazing week. Bye.